I'm Nova Gordon Bell, Undergraduate Matters for FHE. And it's so good to see us. It's so good to see us all gathered here. And I'm going to ask the awardees to stand. Awardees. So it's all about you. Yes. Thank you. You can be seated. So welcome everyone to the Faculty of Humanities and Education Annual Students Award Ceremony. We're here despite Hurricane Melissa. We're here to recognize excellence, resilience, and just sheer grit. So let's applaud the awardees again. Get straight into this afternoon's event, but I want to acknowledge with us this afternoon Prof. Canute Thompson, PVC Board of Undergraduate Studies. Good to see you with us. One of us. Professor Maxine Gossel-Williams, Director Graduate Studies and Research. I know I saw her. Is Professor Taylor here yet? And we welcome our dean. We welcome representatives from other faculties, academic, and other units of the university. Welcome. We look forward to having you celebrate with us the achievement of our students, and we who have had a ringside seat to their performance know what it took for most of them, all of them, to be here celebrating and collecting awards this afternoon. It has been quite a ride. So let's give them an applause again, a round of applause. So, Dr. Dion Edwards-Carr, our dean, I'm going to invite you to the platform to give your opening remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon Bell, and good afternoon to all our students and all the people who support our students, all our staffs, all our heads of departments, all our lecturers who have allowed this to be possible. I want to particularly welcome our PVC, Board of Undergraduate Studies, and Professor Gossel-Williams, Board of Graduate Studies and Research. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. And I especially want to welcome those who return to us, even though they left a while back. Professor Bev Bryan and Dr. Susan Anderson. I couldn't say welcome without welcoming you. And I'm sure we have some other persons here. But one of the strongest things about the humanities is the people, the faculty, the staff. And so I particularly want to say thank you to our staff for supporting our students and supporting our faculty and for standing behind the faculty even in the face of disaster. So here we are today. And I think it's Chronics who said, success don't come overnight. I'm sure some of us in here know the rest of that song, right? In fact, he said, we do it for the love, we don't do it for the likes. But actually, that statement can be attributed to a gentleman called Eddie Cantor. He says, it takes 20 years to make an overnight success. Really, what he was talking about is the kind of invisible work, the work that is behind the scenes, that very often people don't see. So today, many of you will get the trophy that has come from that invisible work, the years of invisible work that you've put in to studying, to reading stuff you don't understand, those long nights, those 3 a.m.s, and sometimes on very little, on circumstances that have sometimes pushed both your mind and your body to the limit. I have another friend who says that if you pay tuition and don't have a car key, you are already ahead of the game. And I agree, because there's nothing more powerful than an education, and an education from UWI. I am sure that there were days when you felt like giving up, walking away. I'm sure that there were times when the tears ran free, but you are here this afternoon, and that means that you carried on. Whether it was to go over the mountain, through the mountain, under the mountain, sometimes you have to go under the mountain. It meant that you stood still, made that small decision, the micro decisions I call them, without seeing the future and holding on, sticking it out. And I know that particular space. I traveled there many times. When we take one thing at a time, sometimes you have to creep and not walk. And many of you here this afternoon have had to creep instead of walking. And so today represents the creeping and the walking and the crying and whatever else that you have had to go through. We are recognizing that your achievement, what you have been able to accomplish, means that you have not quit. And by not quitting means that you have won. What I'm certain of, this is what I'm certain of, is that you will keep winning. And I look forward to seeing you on Morning Times, that's what it's called, Sunrise, on Instagram. I want to see the posts that say, I made it, right? I did it. And as you go through, I'm going to ask you this simple thing. Keep going, keep innovating, but turn back and help somebody who might need a helping hand. Good afternoon.
Our dean says keep going, keep innovating, and I suspect she knows who our guest speaker is. Someone who has kept going, and if you look in the dictionary for innovator, you'll probably see her picture. No, you're not necessarily, but you know what I mean. Kenia Linton George, one of our own, is our guest speaker this afternoon. And we are so excited because some of you know the Undergraduate Awards should have been in November. Yeah, November, post Melissa. And we were so concerned that in rescheduling the awards, would we get Kenia to come? Would she be available? Well, Melissa didn't stop Kenia Linton George for being here this afternoon. Thank you so much. Come on, folks. We were so worried because innovators keep going, and we weren't sure she would be available, but she's here. Kenia Linton George is a Jamaican fashion designer, and we all know that. Television executive producer and social entrepreneur.
And
she is the CEO and the designer at Kenia Linton Design Limited.
Some of us in here know the rest
which has been
song,
featured
right?
in fashion weeks in London.
In fact, he said
Miami, New York, November, the continent of Africa, Portugal as well. Global lady. Kenia Linton Designs have also been featured in several leading fashion magazines. And I know many of you know some of these magazines. She, Caribbean, Jemac, Paradis, Caribbean Belle, Profiles, and Vogue. Kenya Linton George is the executive producer and host of the award-winning Mission Catwalk TV series, which aim to discover and cultivate talented fashion designers right across the region. Everybody knows Mission Catwalk? I know they know it, man. You know it. She's the founder of the Designers Guild Jamaica, a non-profit organization aimed at moving the local industry towards sustainable global competitiveness. Anybody here from Mandeville? Kenya is from Mandeville. Studied philosophy, yes, philosophy right here at the University of the West Indies. Mona, come on, humanities people. One of us. Now you see what you can do with philosophy, folks? Okay. Argument done. Philosophy. Right. Now, she pursued fashion design courses at Central St. Martin's at the University of the Arts, London, and has been presented with a number of awards, and I'm reading the awards. Investor's Choice, Young Jamaican Achievers Award, 2011. Gleaner PSOJ, 50 Under 50 Business Leaders Shaping Jamaica's Future, 2012. The Ocean Style Foundation Award, 2013. The Jamaica Observer Style Award, Fashion Innovator Award, 2013. The Gleaners Flair Magazine Distinguished Award, 2018. Okay? Philosophy degree. I'm just saying. She recently represented the Caribbean at the Commonwealth Business Forum in Kigali, 2022, presenting on the business of sustainable fashion. She presented a TEDx talk on the paradox, hear the philosopher, man, the paradox of ethical fashion. And she presented on sustainable fashion at the Sustainable Fashion Tech and Culture Week 2023 at the Florida International Trade and Culture Expo. A degree in philosophy. Let us make welcome a distinguished daughter, one of our very own, Kenya Linton George.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as I arrived, I was searching my handbag for my stylish reading glasses. As a fashion designer, I have to represent. But it was not there, so I'm going to be wearing my librarian glasses. So please excuse me today. Again, good afternoon, distinguished faculty, honored guests, and most importantly, our awardees. Standing here as a fellow graduate at the University of the West Indies, the Faculty of Humanities and Education, as someone shaped deeply by the study of philosophy, I feel something beyond pride. I feel a family connection. Today is not about academic awards only. It is about the power of the disciplined mind in a distracted world. Each of you represent proof that intellect that intellectual excellence still matters. You are achieving academic excellence in a time that resists thinking. In a time, well, in my time at least, we did not have constant notifications, social media comparison, information overload, economic stress, mental fatigue, and the pressure for instant success. You are expected to concentrate in a world that is now engineered to break your concentration. As a philosophy student myself, a child of the humanities, when we celebrate your academic excellence, we are not praising only intelligence. We are recognizing your capacity to think when it is easier not to. This is why the humanities is critical. For me, philosophy, the love of wisdom, employs logic, critical thinking to look beyond science, to understand what shapes thought, the nature of consciousness, morality, and truth. People may ask, why the humanities? Why education? Why philosophy? But for me, philosophy asks, what is true? What is just? And for those in education, education asks, how do we pass knowledge forward? How do we nurture human potential? And in general, the humanities asks, who are we? Where do we come from? What stories must we protect? It was mentioned that I did research on the paradox of ethical fashion. And I remember when I was studying philosophy, my friends asked, why are you studying philosophy? You know you want to be a designer, but back in my day, there was no fashion school in Jamaica. Now we have Edna Manley doing a fashion program, we have UTech doing a fashion program. So I had nowhere to go, and I decided I wanted to pursue law. I went to London with my sister. She got a scholarship, I didn't. So I came back to Jamaica with my humble little self, and I applied to UWI. And UWI graciously accepted me to the humanities. And I fell in love with philosophy here. I remember Professor Harding, Professor Agri Brown, and some of my favorite professors who helped to nurture my mind and the way I would think in this world that we are living in now. Because regardless of what you choose to pursue, the foundation that you are setting here at the University of the West Indies is what is shaping your mind. And when I eventually leaned into pursuing fashion, after years of pursuing philosophy, I knew deep down in my heart I wanted to pursue fashion. But all my teachers kept telling me, oh, go and do law, go and do business, go and do tourism. They would redirect me constantly, but I ended up in fashion regardless. And I don't know if it's my nature or if it's the teachings from philosophy, but the moment I entered the fashion industry, I started questioning everything. I joined the Jamaica Fashion and Apparel Cluster, and it was a number of designers, and they all had the same issue. And I became what most people would call a freedom fighter. I was the one who was pushing, asking, why is this so? Why aren't we doing this? Why? And I was questioning everything. And that led me to form the Designers Guild, which now has over 100 members. And we are still asking why, because there are a number of things that still has not changed in fashion. And most of us are experiencing it now with fast fashion, where we're participating in it. But some of us are questioning it. We're wondering why, and how can I, make better choices? How can I impact the world in a better way instead of just being a participant. So for those who have the time, you could check the TED Talk on, I won't go into it, but you could check the TEDx talk on YouTube. It's called The Paradox of Ethical Fashion. And I didn't look at fashion just through the general economic lens. We looked at it from the deontological perspective, the existential perspective, and the utilitarian perspective. And for those of my philosophy students here, you know exactly what that is. We go deep. So, right now, societies across the world are not only facing technical problems, they are facing moral, cultural, and human problems. We have more data than ever, yet we struggle with empathy. More connection, yet more division. More opinions, less reflection. You are being trained now not just to know things, but to understand people, systems, and meaning. And that is nation building. Because when you go out into the world, nobody knows what you're going to be pursuing. The simplest thing you pursue, the character you're building now, is what is shaping you to attack those issues in the world that you're venturing out into. Academic excellence is training the mind for life. In philosophy, we learn that education is not about filling the mind, but forming it. And excellence, I believe, is developed, not discovered. It is the development of your intellectual character, your ability to question assumptions, think critically instead of reacting emotionally. And we see that every day on social media. Most of these posts are engineered just to get your emotional reaction. And we're suckered into it every day. And I'm one who, I rarely react on social media because I ask, what is the purpose of this? What reaction are they expecting from me, and why? And the moment you pause and think what the other person is expecting you to do, you will think twice. Because you realize you're being controlled, you're being manipulated into an action that you probably wouldn't have engaged in if you didn't go on social media. And that is what the foundation of the humanities does for you. It allows you to think and question simple things that require your emotional reaction. It allows you the ability to sit with complexity instead of demanding simple answers, to communicate ideas clearly. Now, all the essays you wrote while you were studying, the readings that confused you, the lectures that challenged your beliefs, and I remember some lectures that really challenged my belief, and you had to be open. And that is what university education does to you. It allows you to open your mind and be able to see another person's perspective without having to agree with them. Allow them space to be and just exist. Those moments were shaping how you think, and how you think now shapes your lives. Now, Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. But your thinking will be tested. Everything you've learned will be tested. Your natural, innate character will be tested when you go out into this world. But life does not present multiple choices. It's not going to be a regular exam. It's not just about, the academics. You will face ambiguity, ethical dilemmas, situations where the right choice is not obvious, moments where your values will cost you something. And I have had many of those where you have to just be willing to just lose out on something because of your values. And I wouldn't even go into the examples. There are so many. This is where your humanities and philosophy training matters the most, because you have shifting up my notes. You've practiced these principles throughout your 4 years of education. Now, I remember coming back to complete my degree because, like most young persons, I got distracted. I got distracted with fashion, and I remember I still had 2 outstanding courses. And when I came back and I did those courses, it was after my husband had passed. And there was a particular philosophy course that was not required when I was a student, that was not required when I was coming back to finish up. And it was called The Meaning of Life. Has anyone done that course, The Meaning of Life? Yes, I see one hand. Huh? The Meaning of Life and Existence. I had to do that course, and that course was profoundly important and pivotal for me because at that time I had lost my husband and I was grieving, and that book delved so deeply into the existential issues of loss and grief, and it spoke about the concentration camps and all the loss that they had to deal with. And it was a book that I read multiple times because it was so profoundly meaningful to me, and it spoke about finding meaning. There was a, I should have written it down, but there were a number of examples where persons found meaning in simply looking at the sunset, meaning in art. And there was an example where a man had lost his wife and had lost his will to live, and went to see a psychologist. And in one of the sessions, he said, and this was the moment when he realized, in terms of meaning in life, finding meaning, and he found meaning in his grief when the doctor said to him, "What if your wife had not died, and you had died, and she had to go through this?" And the man immediately just got quiet, and he reflected, because as a husband, you want to be the one going through the grief and the pain instead of your wife going through it. And in that moment, he found meaning in his pain, because his pain now was for his wife, so that she wouldn't have to experience that pain. And he developed a whole system around that, and it helped to cure a number of persons who were grieving. And it also helped me while I was grieving. So sometimes you don't know when you are going to reach for your nuggets that you got when you were at university. But everything you are learning is crucial. I have because I'm a designer, I have to end with something fashion related. So I'm going to leave you with an acronym. And it's couture. And couture is the creme de la creme of fashion. It's custom made. It's pret-a-porter. It's not off the rack. It's not ready to wear. So we're looking at a custom-made life, not off-the-rack thinking. And C is for clarity of purpose. Knowing why you do what you do. O is for original thinking, not mass-produced ideas. U is for understanding people, not just systems, but human-centered intelligence. T is for truth. T is for truth-seeking, over comfort. Choosing what is right over what is easy. And I mentioned that you will be faced with that in your life. You will have to choose what is right over what is easy. And it's going to be hard. But you will feel way better in choosing what is right in your heart. U is for unshakable values, anchored identity in a shifting world. R is for reflection before reaction. And you remember the social media post? You ask the questions before you react. So reflection before reaction, pausing to think in a reactive world. And E is for excellence as a daily practice, not a one-time award, but a way of being. Thank you very much.
So much to reflect on there, because it hit me that we are recognizing the couture of this faculty this afternoon. That's what we're doing. Don't play with us, couture. Because you all know, those of you who are being awarded, what it took to get here. We have a habit of thinking that people who do well is because they're bright. Yeah, some of that, but it really is about the grieving, the struggle, the reflection, the values. We've come to that point now to recognize couture. Our heads of departments will come up and they will help us to recognize the awardees this afternoon. We'll begin with Carac, and then we'll be going through, in alphabetical order, to the couture of the Faculty of Humanities and Education.
Distinguished guests, colleagues, industry partners, parents, friends, and most importantly, our student awardees, good afternoon. Today we celebrate academic excellence. We reward outstanding performance and acknowledge the power of the creative imagination. But we're also recognizing the values of innovation, discipline, and commitment to professional principles, process, and practice across the 5 undergraduate media and communication programs at Carac, certainly at the start, Carac being the Caribbean School of Media and Communication in the Faculty of Humanities and Education. But before we begin, allow me to express sincere appreciation to our industry partners, the Jamaica Public Service, RGR Gleaner Communication Group, Love 101, and Infinity IMC, whose continued collaboration and investment in our students make occasions like this possible. I mention them because each of these Carac Awards will come with a $50,000 cash reward, and they're all fully underwritten by these industry partners. So we thank you. Your support strengthens the bridge between academia and industry, and we're truly grateful. I'm therefore going to ask, I don't see my RGR partner present. Okay, so I'm going to invite Miss Ruthlyn Johnson from JPS, and we're talking about having graduates among us this evening. Ruthlyn is a graduate of Carac. And she will make the presentations to the film, in the film production and journalism section. So, I think they require you to be on the stage and closer to the banner. Thank you. The Film Production Award recognizes excellence in storytelling, production, and media leadership and is presented to Mr. Jonathan Christoph Cochrane. The Journalism Award is presented to a student who has demonstrated integrity, clarity, and impact in journalistic practice, and that goes to Mr. Ricardo Brooks. Thank you. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you, Ruthlyn. May I invite the CEO of Infinity Integrated Communications and Events Limited, Mrs. Shanoy Harris-Coombs, to come forward and make the presentations to our animation and IMC awardees. And while she takes her position, I will also once again boast to let you know that Mrs. Harris-Coombs is a Carac graduate. The Animation Award this year is presented to Miss Fallon Naomi Miller. Oh, she's not here? And she's not here? Oh. And the Integrated Marketing Communication Award goes to our 2025 FHE valedictorian, Ms. Zante Thomas. Where's Zante? Dr. Obika, I think you should come down and accept this award on her behalf. You need to go so that there we go. Thank you very much. And now we move to the digital media production and acknowledge Love 101 for their continued support of innovation in the media space as the long-standing #1 gospel radio station, or should I say Christian radio station in Jamaica. I invite another Carac alum, Mr. Michael Bryce, the general manager, to make this presentation. Is Miss Marceline Moody here? Chantal? The award for digital media production top student is Miss Marceline Michelle Moody. She's not. Ryan, would you come down and accept the award, please? Thank you very much, Mr. Bryce, and thanks, Ryan, for filling in. And now we come to the final undergraduate award, so we'll be back for the graduate section. And a very special recognition, the Carac Directors Award, which is presented to the overall top performer, the student with the highest GPA among the graduates of 2025. This is a student who has also demonstrated exceptional leadership, professionalism, and contribution to the legacy of excellence in the school. The 2025 Directors Award is presented to Mr. Ricardo Brooks from the journalism program. I'm going to ask the Dean and Ms. Scott to come on down and join the Dean in making this presentation. You have to turn it the other way. Is it? Okay. His name is on the other side. It's on the right side? Okay. So we will keep this at Carac, and he will go home with a replica. So nobody now needs to go and don't rush Ricardo after this, because technically what it means is that Ricardo is walking away this evening with $100,000, right? When you add it up. Thank you very much, Dean. Thanks, Ms. Scott. Thanks, Ricardo. Ladies and gentlemen, together these awards are a signal of clear readiness to impact industry and transform society. Thank you, and I'll be back.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dexnell Peters. I'm here representing Dr. Julian Cresser, the head of the department, who unfortunately isn't able to make it today. So it's my pleasure to present our history awardees, history and archaeology. I'll get some assistance from Dr. Carl Watts and Dr. Renee Nelson, who can join us. So first up, the Neville Hall Prize for the History of the Americas, Michael Trail. For the Walter Rodney Prize for the History of Africa, Aaliyah Brown. Elsa Govaya West Indian History Prize, Renee Osborne. All right. Okay. The Gladwin Turbot Prize in Atlantic History, Selena Fisher. The Gladwin Turbot Prize in Historical Methodology, Nadreem Doyley. Gladwin Turbot Prize for Asian History, Hassani Felix. Gladwin Turbot Prize in Heritage Studies, Dana Stewart. Right. I'm going to ask Dr. Nelson to join us on the stage as we give out the prizes in digital history, the inaugural prize in digital history. For semester 1, Omarian Pusi. And for semester 2, Ashley Johnson. All right, I'll hand back over to my colleagues.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Dave Goss, representing the Institute of Caribbean Studies. We have 6 prizes for 3 undergraduate programs. We start first with the Stuart Hall Prize for Cultural Studies, and joining me is Dr. Nicole Plummer. She's the undergraduate coordinator in the ICS. The Stuart Hall Prize in Cultural Studies, best performance in at least 3 cultural studies courses, Alexandria Rodriguez. The ICS Creative Scholar Prize, best performing second-year student in core courses across ICS majors, so ESM, CCI, and MPS with a minimum B+ average, Abigail Williams. Our ESM Prize is our oldest undergraduate program. So second-year ESM major with the highest performance in core courses with a minimum B+ average, it goes to Abigail Williams again. Best performance in at least 2, rewind. Best performance in Found 1101, Caribbean Civilization, with a minimum B+ average, it goes to Janelle Steer. Janelle Steer. And the ICS Prize in Cultural Creative Industries, or CCI program, second-year CCI major with the highest performance in core courses, it goes to Jodian Hutchinson. And finally, ICS Prize in Music and Performance Studies Program, or Music Program, second year MPS major with the highest performance in core courses. It goes to Tony Shea Irvin. I'll join Nicole with this one.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, awardees, guests of the awardees, good afternoon. I am Vivette Milson-White, the head of language, linguistics, and philosophy, feeling especially proud today. I'm here to celebrate with the students who, as our guest speaker said, developed a disciplined mind in a distracted world and developed excellence over the past academic year. For prizes from the language section, for the best student in language argument, found 1002, we have Jordan Dehaney. Thanks, Ms. Brown. For the best student in critical reading and writing in the social sciences, found 1013, Asia Steele. And thanks to Mr. Campbell, who is presenting. Best student in critical reading and writing in science and technology and the medical sciences, Nia Ashley Harris. And thanks, Ms. Dean. Best student in critical reading and expository writing in humanities and education, Jada Garcia. Thanks again, Ms. Brown. Best student in critical reading and writing in the disciplines is Archangel Koule, but Koule has left Jamaica, but we celebrate with Archangel. We're moving now to courses in professional literacies. For the best student in language and ethics, Shanae Gilbert. Best student in critical analysis of communicative events, Theondra Hamilton. And thanks, Dr. Beckford. For the best student in the art of public speaking, Ricardo Brooks. Best student in technical writing, Jamin Thomas. Okay, we congratulate Jamin. Best student in workplace communication, principles and practice, again, Shanae Gilbert. We move now to the prizes from the linguistics section. For the best level 1 student, Stacia Bailey. Thanks, Dr. Harry. For the most outstanding student in Beginners Caribbean Sign Language, Ling 1819, Chelsea McComey. For the best Level 2 theory student, Rashid Myri. Congratulations to Rashid. For the best Level 2 non-theory student, Gordia Dixon. Congrats. Don't go all the way up, Miss Dixon. For the best Level 3 theory student, Lorena Esco. Lorena is not here. She's also the recipient, well, the best Level 3 non-theory student. We congratulate her. For the JLU Prize for the most outstanding student in Introduction to the Structure and Usage of Jamaican Creole, that's Ling 2810, Gordia Dixon. The next prize is the John Reinecke Prize, and I'm constrained to read some information for you because this is a prize awarded to a student on each of the University of the West Indies campuses, as well as to students from the University of Guyana. The John Reinecke Prize. American-born John Reinecke was a pioneer in the scientific study of contact languages such as pidgins and creoles. He was a polyglot and a language scientist par excellence. From the 1930s to the 1940s, he was a leading sociolinguist whose scholarly career was dedicated to the study of both the structures and the social status of pidgin and creole languages. Reinecke's great interest was the demarginalization of Creole languages around the world, including Hawaiian Creole English and Caribbean Creole languages. Reinecke's wish was to support scholarly study of these languages, including the recognition of the future linguists of the Anglophone Caribbean, earlier just Dewey students. The John Reinecke Award is given to the best final year undergraduate student majoring in linguistics in the Faculty of Humanities and Education on each of the campuses I mentioned, UWI and University of Guyana. And for this award, the purpose is to congratulate and encourage excellence in the field of Caribbean linguistics and is named in honor and memory of this pioneering scholar. So the John Reinecke Award is donated by the Society for Caribbean Linguistics, and the 2024 to 2025 recipient is Daniel Simon. prizes from the philosophy section. Best Level 1 student, Ruel John Crawford. Not here, congrats to him. Best student in Introduction to Logic, Rian Garvin. And this prize is donated by the coordinator, Dr. Rotimi Omoshulu. And also being handed out by Dr. Omoshulu. Best student in Introduction to Philosophy, Phil 1003, Kavina Rowe. Also donated by Dr. Omoshulu and being handed out by him. Best Level 2 student in Philosophy, Satnarine Dukran. Best Level 3 student, we have a tie here, Zoditu Graham and Jody Park. So Jody is here. Oh, okay. Congrats. Thank you. And Jody. And then the last two from my department for the two other students who received first-class honors, but for these specific programs, Languages and Linguistics, Charles Young. And Lorena Esco for the Linguistics Special. They're both not here, but we congratulate all of them for having developed excellence in our offerings. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Dean, colleagues, distinguished guests, and awardees. I am Stanley Griffin, head of the Department of Library and Information Studies, and it is my privilege to invite our coordinator for student life, Mrs. Peter Gay Richards, who will call the names for the programs at the bachelor's level, the Bachelor of Arts in Librarianship, the Bachelor of Arts in Information Studies, and the Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science. And I'm asking Dr. Rosemary Heath, who coordinates the Master of Library and Information Studies, to represent Dr. Ruth Baker Gardner, who coordinates the Bachelor of Arts in Librarianship and Information Studies, to present the following awards. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So we begin with the librarianship, the Keita Rowe Prize for Outstanding Performance, Year 1, Claudine Myers. Claudine is here. Keita Rowe Prize for Outstanding Performance at Year 1 for Information Studies, O'Neill Marshall. The Pippa Frey Prize for Outstanding Performance, Year 2, Librarianship, Cheryl James Lewis. Cheryl is one of our students from Trinidad and Tobago, and we acknowledge and congratulate her. The Pippa Frey Prize for Outstanding Performance at Year 2 for Information Studies, Nashon Bryan. Awesome. Yes. The Keita Rowe Prize for Outstanding Performance, Year 3, Librarianship, Avon Price. People Free Prize for Outstanding Performance, Year 3 Information Studies, Deidre K. Smith. The Daphne Douglas Prize for Outstanding Support, Service and Development, Mitzi White. Is Mitzi here? No. Okay, we move on. Kidero Prize for Best Grade in Libs 1003, Introduction to Information Studies, Nadia Reynolds. Thank you, Dr. Heath. Dr. Griffin? We move now to computer science. People Free Prize for Outstanding Performance, Year 1, Sierra Fletcher. Year 2, Kidero Prize for Outstanding Performance, Victoria White. Oops. Uh-oh. All is well. Year 3, Kidero Prize for Outstanding Performance, Jamila Morgan. Is Jamila here? No? Okay. We move on to the Head of Department Prize for Academic Excellence in Libs 2704, Introduction to Museums and Galleries, Deidre K. Smith. Is Deidre here? And for the Karbika Prize for Best Grade in Libs 2703, Archival Concepts and Practices, and Libs 3702, Preservation Management for Libraries and Information Units, Nishan Bryan. All right. Industry prizes from the Library and Information Association of Jamaica, award for best grade in Libs 3802, internship in librarianship, Peter Ann Kildare. Is she here? No? Okay. Liaja Award for best grade in internship in information studies, Adriel James. The Liaja Award for Best Grade in COMP 3901, the Capstone Project, Jamila Morgan. Okay, we've come to the end and we congratulate all our awardees.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexis Samuels, and I'm representing for the Department of Literatures in English, and I want to say a big, big congratulations to you, our award, or our student awardees. All righty. So we begin. I call on Miss Whitney Eaton to please come forward to present the prize. All right, sorry, apologies. Mrs. Christina Moore-Fuller. For the Year 1 Ian Randall Prize, we have Rianne Garvin for Best Year 1 Performance in Literatures in English. Miss Whitney Eaton, may you please step up again. All righty. So for the Year 2, the Vicens Prize, we have Gianna Mackenzie for Best Year 2 Performance in Literatures in English. For the Year 2 People Tree Prize, Outstanding Year 2 Performance in Literatures in English, we have Kyle Excel. And for our Year 3 prize, we have that going to 2 students, Chanel Sananan, as well as Paris Wright. Please come forward. Best Performance in Literatures in English, Year 3. We also have the Modesta Riley Cooper Prize for Best Performance by an Education major in any first-year course in the Department of Literatures and English, presented by Professor Carolyn Cooper. And the student who receives this distinguished award is Antonisha Dunn. Alrighty, the next prize we have is the Melvina Myrie Mackenzie Prize, achieved by the student with the highest mark in the Level 1 course, Introduction to Prose Fiction, Ryan Garvin. We now have the Mervyn Morris Prize, presented to Fallon Miller, achieved in the sense of the highest mark in creative writing, poetry. Well, apparently Fallon is not here. So we will move on to the Broadber Pollard Prize, awarded to Tavia Dennis for Most Outstanding Performance in Creative Writing, Prose Fiction. The Gloria Lynn Prize to be accepted by Alea Blackman and collected on her behalf by Gabrielle Bryan for best performance in any level 2 West Indian literature course, reggae poetry. The Franklin St. Just Film Studies Prize goes to Gabriella Royce for best performance in any Caribbean film course. For the Liberal Studies Prize, we have Jodie Park as well as Suzette Brown. Hi, Jodie. The Victor Chang Prize for Rachel Hugh, top performance in any level 2 or level 3 modern or drama course. And finally, the Writing, Literatures, and Publishing Award, which goes to our top 2 performers. Best Performance in Writing, Literatures, and Publishing, Year 3, Chanel Sonanan and Amanda Patterson Zuber. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, students, awardees, and families, and guests. The Department of Modern Languages and Literatures, which I'm head, is proud to recognize and congratulate all the students here today who have worked with dedication, curiosity, and persistence through their studies, and in particular those in the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures, because in a world where misunderstandings travel faster than facts, choosing to learn how to think, speak, and live in another language is both smart and necessary. Mastering another language, you know, is not as easy as it may seem. So that's why we enjoy that you are challenged, but that you enjoy actually the challenge and confusion. We really are happy that you enjoy the challenge and confusion. And I hope this effort prepared you to this and to engage meaningful in this world that is full of complexities and our current global realities. So we are going to give the awards, and I invite Dr. Barnett, a Spanish lecturer in the department, to give the awards. I have to say that we have all our Chinese section preparing the lecture of Professor Sachs. So they are not here to give the awards, but Dr. Barnett is covering for that, standing for that. So the first award for most outstanding academic performance in Chinese level 1 is to Brianna Amore. The most outstanding academic performance in Chinese level 2 is for Danielle Wizard. No? Okay, we'll keep it. The most outstanding academic performance in Chinese level 3 goes to Charles Marie Young. Not here either? I'm sure they must be helping with this lecture because they are not here either. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Barnett. And I invite Ms. Grace Perez to offer the award for Japanese. Come back. Dr. Barnett. And the most outstanding academic performance in Japanese levels 1, 2, and 3 is for Leo Itoguchi. No, here either. Okay. Okay, French, thank you. And I invite Ms. Eugenie Asby to give the awards, to present the awards. One moment, French. Okay, okay. Okay. The most outstanding academic performance in French language courses level 3 is to Jessica Forrester. Oh, she's in France. Okay. She's actually in France, using what she has learned. Good, well done. The highest grades in French 1002 and continuing for a French major or minor, and is the Bridget Jones and William Miller Trust Award is to Clara Fletcher. This award is given by the Trust of Bridget Jones and William Miller. So. For most outstanding academic performance in French literature level 3 is Jessica Forrester, who, now I remember, is in France. Okay, thank you. Ms. Bennett, and I invite our Dr. Yaya Montameme, senior lecturer, to present the following awards. The William Miller Prize for Most Outstanding Academic Performance in French Level 2 to Tiara Fletcher. The most outstanding academic performance in French, listening and speaking level 2 is the Prince Jambeck Prize Award for Natalia Green. The Anita Brown Memorial Award in French Translation for Most Outstanding Academic Performance in Second Year Translation Course goes to Nicola Bella. No? It's not here, we will keep it. Okay, thank you, Dr. Montameme. And for Spanish section, I invite Ms. Jasmine Sadeghi, foreign language instructor, to present the following awards. The Gabriel Colhart Prize for Most Outstanding Academic Performance in the Spanish American Literature course, Level 2, to Bianca Smith. And the Paul Davis Memorial Prize for Most Outstanding Academic Performance in Spanish Language, Levels 2 and 3, to Shanae Gilbert. I have déjà vu with Thank you, Shanae. And I invite again Dr. Barnett for the next two awards. The Kremlin Lawrence Prize for More Outstanding Academic Performance in Spanish Language and Literature, Levels 2 and 3, to Ashley Hunter. The TIA Translation Prize, Most Outstanding Academic Performance in Second Year Translation, to Andwell Harris. It's not here. It's not here. Okay. Thank you. And the final? I'm not sure. And the Department of Modern Languages and Literature Prize for More Outstanding Academic Performance in Spanish, Literature, and Film, Level 3, to Shanae Gilbert, and I will give the prize. And with that is all the awards for. We don't have it here. We have it. There is one more prize, the Amalia Winter Prize for French. The student is Amalia Winter. The prize is for Level 1 French. Sorry, it was not in the list. So it's Amalia Winter for Level 1 French. And with that, I think now we finish mother languages.
I just wanted it to come down a bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to be here to represent our director from the School of Education, Professor Carmel Roof. My name is Therese Ferguson Murray, and we're going to be calling out the awards for Most Outstanding Students by option. I'm going to invite I see they are already ready, our program coordinators. So for the language education, English education option, I'm pleased to announce the Beverly Bryan Award presented by Dr. Aisha Spencer. The award goes to Antonisha Dunn and will be collected by Thonisha Jarrett. And we're pleased to have Professor Bryan here with us. For the Literacy Studies option, the School of Education Award, Dr. Yuande Lewis-Folcom will present this, and our awardee is Danielle Jones. For Science Education, the Florence Commission Award. This will be presented by Dr. Sharon Bramwell-Layler, and our awardee is Trishana Parker. Okay, awesome. For Social Studies, Geography Education, we have the June Evans Award. This will be presented by Dr. Shanika McFarland Morris, and our awardee is Celia Cooper. Beautiful. For mathematics, we have the Esperanza Terry Tomlinson Award, presented by Dr. Lloyd George, and our awardee is Nydia Bell. For Information Technology, we have the School of Education Award, which will be presented by Ms. Camille Berry and collected by Nicholas Watson, and the awardee is Elenia Patterson. For the Information and Communication Technology Award, the option, the School of Education Award, again, we have Ms. Berry, and our awardee is Britannia Bonner. Awesome. So those were our most outstanding students by option. We now celebrate our most outstanding students by year. So we have our Bachelor of Education Year 1. This is the Madge Hall Award. The School of Education Dr. Winifred Madge Hall Scholarship Fund Award was established in December 2009 and is conferred annually to the most outstanding Bachelor of Education 90 credits Year 1 student in memory of Dr. Hall. Our presenter is Professor Beverly Bryan, and our awardee, Latanya Roberts. So everybody wants to share in awards, right? All right, so our Bachelor of Education, Year 2. This is the School of Education For academic achievement, the School of Education Award is granted annually to the most outstanding Bachelor of Education Year 2 student. Dr. Bramwell Layler is with us again, and the awardee is Kalila Watson. And we have our Bachelor of Education Year 3, the Professor Aubrey Phillips Award for Most Outstanding Performance in the Bachelor of Education Year 3 program. The Professor Aubrey S. Phillips Award is named in memory of the late Professor of Educational Psychology and is awarded to the most outstanding Bachelor of Education Year 3 student each year. Our presenter is Mr. Mikhail Phillips, and our awardee, Antonisha Dunn, to be collected by Thanisa Jarrett. Congratulations to all our School of Education awardees and all the awardees thus far.
Because we have the faculty award. So you're coming now?
Sorry, I was just notified by Dr. Fang that there is another student that is going to be awarded by the Confucius and is also for most outstanding academic performance in Chinese level 1. So the student is Tiffany Williams. But I don't know if the student is here. Oh, she left. Oh, okay. Okay, she left.
We come now to our faculty awardees. Dean, I think that's you. Dean will join us. The Faculty of Humanities and Education Prize for Outstanding Academic Performance at Level 1, Shante Marie Garrick. Dejeuner Fagan. Jade Garcia. Kevina Rowe. Chimoy Deitch. The Mokemon Prize for the most outstanding Level 1 part-time student, Shante Chaco Wilmot Hernandez. The Faculty Prize for the most outstanding academic performance at Level 2, Rebecca Jagisar. Caitlin Campbell. Hassani Felix. Jordan and Beckford. Ajomo Baker. Now we come to the Dean's Award for Excellence. Most Outstanding Academic Performance at Level 1, Shante Marie Garrett. Dean's Award for Excellence at Most Outstanding Academic Performance at Level 1, Latanya Watson. Not here? Okay. Dean's Award for Excellence, Most Outstanding Academic Performance at Level 2, Rebecca Jagasar. Kalila Watson. Dean's Award for Excellence to Most Outstanding Academic Performance at Level 3, Ricardo Brooks. And finally, Antonisha Dunn. There's someone collecting for Antonisha. So that concludes the undergraduate presentation.
Where are you going? It would be lovely for you to sit with us and enjoy this wonderful evening. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zoya Kincaid Clark, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the second part, or part two, of the award ceremony, the Faculty of Humanities and Education Award Ceremony. I am the Deputy Dean of Graduate Studies in the faculty, and not to prolong the day because you have been welcomed, but just to say and to highlight our graduate students who have done an excellent job, and we're going to be commending them this afternoon. Whoa. And we're going to be commending them this afternoon. Please be careful as you're walking down the stairs. So we are, the Dean wishes to say congratulations to our graduate students. We understand that our graduate students, many of them have returned to us, and many of them are new to the university. And so we want to say congratulations for this success. We understand. Wow, that's a hungry clap. There you go, there you go, there you go. We understand that many of our graduate students, it was a lot of challenges and a lot of sacrifice to come back and to be with us. And so we want to commend them and thank them for the wonderful strides they have made. So my welcome has been very short, and I just want to explain the process that we're going to be doing for our graduate section. We're going to be inviting the heads of the departments or representatives we're going to begin with the School of Education, followed by Carac, and then Literatures in English. So at this time, I will invite Dr. Therese Ferguson, coordinator of the School of Education graduate programs, to come to the podium.
Thank you, Professor Kincaid Clark. All right, so Dr. Bramwell Layler will be assisting with the presentation of these awards, and we will be going by specialization. So for early childhood education, we're pleased to announce that our awardee is Bonita Aiken. For educational psychology, we have Santine Hales as our awardee. For language education, we have Salika Walker. Salika Walker Morrison. For TVET and Workforce Development, Michelle Bright Chinsu. Excellent. For educational measurement, Chanel Antonio. Inclusive and special education, Shanice Harrison. Curriculum and instruction, Nicolisha Foster. Postgraduate diploma, face-to-face, Servina Ricketts. Science education, Tashika Hansen Duncan. Postgraduate diploma, online, Valencia Parchment. Master of Arts in Teaching, Sherry Duhaney. Educational Leadership and Management, Cleopatra Young. Here. And Educational Planning and Policy, Jason Lindsay. So those were our most outstanding students by options. We now have a few awards for most outstanding students by program. So these are our special awards. So for the postgraduate diploma face-to-face, we have the Professor John Figueroa Award, and this is presented to Servina Ricketts. And for our MEd, Educational Leadership and Management, most outstanding, this is the most outstanding master's student from the MEd Educational Leadership and Management Program, Cleopatra Young. And we congratulate our School of Education awardees. Thank you, Dr. Brownwell-Layler.
Good afternoon. We have 3 master's programs at Carac, the Masters in Integrated Marketing Communication, the Master of Arts in Communication for Social and Behavior Change, and the Master of Science in Media Management. We have 2 presentations to be made. Well, 3. Just 2. Okay. So the award to the top performer in the Masters in Integrated Marketing Communication, Marsha Beckford. She's overseas. And Ms. Johnson, you're making the presentation to that person, but there we go. And the second presentation, Mrs. Shanoy Harris-Coombs, please come up and make presentation to the award for Master of Arts in Communication for Social and Behavior Change goes to Miss Kelisha Williams. Thank you very much, and I invite Mr. Michael Bryce from Love 101 to make the presentation to the top achiever in the Master of Science in Media Management. That goes to Ms. Keisha Powell. Congratulations, and once again we thank our sponsors, RJ Glina, JPS Infinity IMC, and Love 101. Congratulations to you all, and thank you.
Good afternoon again. We just have 1 prize in cultural studies. This is the best performance in at least 2 courses at the graduate level in the graduate program. We want to give this prize to Miss Onika Young. And is Dr. Candy Mitchell Hall here? Dr. Candy here? No? All right, you have to do the honors.
All right, good afternoon again. Inviting Dr. Rosemary Heath to make the presentations. I want to make the company be aware that we have had a celebration of information excellence where our graduate students received their awards in Trinidad and Tobago, and there'll be 2 persons who will be receiving their awards later this month in Barbados. So we may just have 3 persons to present. Starting with the People Frey Award for Best Average in LIBS 6501, 6503, and 6504, Digital Library and Information Management, Janelle Wilson. Janelle is here. Not here. The Daphne Douglas Award for Best Prize in Best Average in Lib 6201, Lib 6202, Cataloging and Metadata, Janelle Wilson. The Quidaro Award for Best Grade in Lib 6106, Management of Libraries and Information Unit, Georgia Bartlett Thompson. And she will remain because you're getting the Dorothy Collins Distinguished Postgraduate Award for Top Graduating Student in Library and Information Studies Program, Georgia Bartlett Thompson. And the other person who would have received the HOD Prize for Academic Excellence at Year 1 in the MA, Library and Information Studies, Ms. Janelle Wilson, isn't here. And Chandra, just remain, Chandra Smelly would have received the Carac Award Prize for the best grade in ARCM 603, Preservation of Archival Materials in Tropical Environments. Chandra is not here. Thank you, Dr. Heath. Thank you, colleagues. She is here? Come, Dr. Heath, waiting on you. It's good to see you. And the other two students who will receive their awards in Barbados at the Library Symposium, to be held later this month, is Miss Wendy Edwards for the Daphne Douglas Prize for Best Grade in Methods of Inquiry in Archives and Records, and the Dorothy Collins Prize, the Liaja Prize, the Library and Information Association Prize for Best Grade in the Practicum at the master's level, Stacey Adams in Barbados. Thank you very much.
All right, at this point, colleagues, I'm going to invite Dr. Rosemary Heath, who's representing the Dean Edwards Kerr, to join me on the stage. And at this time, we're going to award we're going to present the award for the Dean's Award for Excellence. And this, perhaps, the first one goes to the most outstanding academic performance in the postgraduate diploma in education. And that award goes to Servina Ricketts. Congratulations, Servino. And at this time, we're going to have the Dean present the Dean's Award for Excellence for PhD candidates or PhD completion for students with high commendation. The first, we'll award Mitzi Reed. I don't believe Mitzi is here. And the next awardee is Nigel Scott. Collecting on behalf of Nigel Scott is his supervisor, or his previous or former supervisor, Dr. Susan Anderson. Nigel is in St. Vincent, yes. At this time, I'm going to invite Ms. Nadia Bell to the podium, who is going to give a reply on behalf of the awardees.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, so we would first like to our dean, to the Faculty of Humanities and Education, to the lecturers, our administrators, our distinguished guests, families, friends, students, even from upper grad and undergraduate students, we want to say good afternoon and welcome to our award ceremony. All right, so today we are deeply honored and grateful to be recognized as awardees. This is not just a celebration to our academic performance, but a recognition to all the sacrifice, the growth that we went through, and our resilience, because it was a long 3 years. It was really long. But despite whether or not we are graduate students or we're undergraduate students, each of us had a different path, yet we shared the same experience at the University of the West Indies. Our journeys have not been identical. Some of us has commuted daily, balancing the early mornings, the traffic, the long days on campus. Others lived on hall. They navigated the vibrant and demanding rhythm of university life. Some balanced work, family responsibilities, parenting alongside the coursework. But yet, despite these challenges or despite these differences, we all encountered moments of challenge where we were given tight deadlines. We were given demanding assessment. There was even financial pressures. And at times, self-doubt, where pressing on, it was just difficult to press on. We just wanted to give up. There was just a moment in our university life where we decided, I can't be bothered right now. I cannot do it. But yet here we are. We did it. We did. We would like to thank our families. We'd like to thank God, because without them, we would not have gotten the endurance, the clarity to carry us through those moments. So when the workload felt overwhelming or the nights were too long, it was that faith in our God or that encouragement from our families that kept us going. We'd also like to offer sincere gratitude to our lecturers, our supervisors, and academic staff, because they challenged us to think critically, not just to, just do coursework, you'll get it, get it over with. No. They said, what are you really doing? Why are you doing this? Those type of encouragements help us to be a part of society as it is and to continue with our education. Those high standards and offering the guidance, we benefited immensely from that. And to them, we would like to say thank you. To the administrative and support staff, we want to thank you for their unseen help through the various systems to continue functioning, whether there were mishaps or breakdown in the machinery, because as we know, that portal is not very standard when it comes to registration. But we'd like to say thank you, because eventually we got through the registration process. To our fellow students, because without each other, we would not be here at all. I remember we shared notes, study sessions, laughter, triumphs, failures, tears, crying together, because this course, we just can't do it, but we will go through it. We want to say thank you to each other, because we learned from each other during these difficult times, and we celebrated every success, even big and small. We finished the project. Yes, we did. Finally, to our family and friends, we want to thank them for our unwavering support. You know how often I mention them? It's because without them, we would not have the financial support or even the emotional support to continue in our journey. Their belief in us has mattered more than they would ever know. So I want you to go home tonight and say, thank you, family. All right, so as we move forward in this moment, whether in careers or further study or leadership, we want to carry ourselves with the lessons we have learned here the discipline, the perseverance, the empathy, and the confidence to overcome challenges placed before us. On behalf of all awardees, thank you to the University of the West Indies, and more specifically to the Faculty of Humanities and Education, for helping us to discover our voices. My voice is kind of shaking now because I didn't expect to come on so soon. But yes, thank you for helping us find our voices, to find the moments that would define us for the rest of our life, not just here at university, but in our work life or as we go out. Even though we may have studied a particular course, as our guest speaker may have shown, it doesn't put us in a box. There are many opportunities, but through the university, we are able to see that those opportunities are, in essence, universal. So thank you to this noble institution for shaping us, challenging us, preparing us for the path ahead. We're very proud of how far we have come, and we're excited for what lies ahead. So thank you, and thank you for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you so very much. That was beautifully said. At this time, we're going to invite two wonderful musicians to come and entertain us briefly. We're going to invite Keon Robertson and LaShawn Williams.
Good afternoon. So Lashan and I will entertain you with a beautiful song entitled Fly by Shanika Maki from the Spice Isle, Grenada. greatest of them all. Even when your faith is shaking, you defeat them all. Yeah. Oh, you can fly. Yeah, you can fly.
How beautiful was that? Thank you so much, Mr. Keon Roberts and Mr. LaShawn Williams. At this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Therese Ferguson, in her role as in representing the head of the School of Education, Dr. Carmel Roof, to present, bring her vote of thanks.
Good afternoon again, colleagues, audience members, other well-wishers, and of course our awardees. Congratulations and well done on your achievements. It was wonderful to be able to recognize and celebrate with you. So now that we have come to the end of the formal ceremony, because of course we know that the celebration will go on, it is my task to offer the vote of thanks. We know that it might seem simple and straightforward, but we know that planning and organizing any event is far from that. So we want to take a moment to just express our thanks to different individuals and groups. We want to thank the university administration. We had with us Professor Knut Thompson, PVC, Undergraduate Board. We had Professor Maxine Gossel-Williams, the acting director of Graduate Studies and Research. And even though there were some persons who could not be with us, we still want to thank them in absentia. So Professor Marcia Roy, Professor Michael Taylor, and other members of the administration. Of course, we want to thank the sponsors of the various awards, because this could not have taken place without their kind contributions. Our performers who took us out, Keon Roberts and LaShawn Williams. I echo what Professor Kincaid Clark said, absolutely beautiful. Of course, our co-chairs, our undergraduate Deputy Dean, Dr. Nova Gordon-Bell, and our graduate Deputy Dean, Professor Kincaid Clark, who ably took us through the ceremony. Our organizing committee and those within the faculty, there were many persons who helped to make this event possible. Of course, our dean, Dr. Dion Edwards-Carr, who always supports our students and celebrating their achievements, our heads of departments, other academic staff who came to celebrate with students, our administrative staff across the different departments, our ancillary staff, persons who you don't necessarily see, but who had to beautify and make our room ready. Our faculty's administrative officer and her team from the faculty office. We want to thank Mona Information and Technology Services for the technical support. All of those present who were supporting our awardees, family members, friends, fellow students, faculty, and of course, the awardees themselves. By coming here, you allowed us to celebrate you. We want to thank our guest speaker, Ms. Kenia Linton George. Two things that stood out: the power of a philosophy degree. Dr. Gordon Bell emphasized that, and we saw that in living color. And our acronym, COUTURE, right? We remember that some of it stands for truth, reflection, excellence, and she took us through each letter of the word. And everybody who would have contributed to the success of the event. So just applaud yourselves and applaud each other. And Mrs. Linton George, I'd like to invite you up. we have a special, just small, very small token of appreciation. It may not look small, but it's small, trust me. Right? And so Professor Kincaid Clark is going to present you with this beautiful token. Did you say it's not small? And so we just really want to thank you. So everyone, awardees, continue the celebrations, and we just congratulate you once again. Well done. Thank you.
And then there were a few. And we thank you. Colleagues, faculty of the Faculty of Humanities and Education, as well as our awardees and guests, persons who came to support, we want to thank you. We understand that having had to postpone this event would have resulted in many of our awardees not being able to make it. Likewise, we know that we have many guests who came on behalf of awardees. Likewise, we had many faculty members who had to accept awards on behalf of awardees. And for that, we say thank you. We understand that this journey in academia is not easy. It's a sacrifice at every single layer. It's a sacrifice of your time, a sacrifice of relationships, a sacrifice of health in some instances, and a sacrifice many times of finances. But you have made it, and for that you deserve to be commended. And we understand that these awards that are given are in no way, or in any way, equivalent to the sacrifice that you have made. But you have done well, and you deserve it. And so on behalf of the Faculty of Humanities and Education, please accept the tokens that we have provided. You have done well. Colleagues, I thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful occasion. This marks the first in a while that we've had a joint undergrad and graduate award ceremony. And it has been a long day, but I believe it has been a fruitful day. We don't have much to offer, but we do have a little bit of something next door. And so we encourage you to come and join us. And I just want to say, all of you, couture.